You are watching unclear.com.
Breathing has always interested me. The way we breathe and how similar breathing under certain circumstances sounds the same. Now let's take, for example, the relaxed type breathing. When you're satisfied, relaxing. It's the same type we use when we're on the toilet. Same type we use when we are relaxed and calm. It also is the same type we use when we're having sex. You're probably saying to yourself, I'm not so sure. However, think back to being on the phone with someone, and for some reason you had to use the toilet. And I don't know what moves people to take the phone with them to the toilet, but sometimes they do. They figure that the conversation is so important that I can multitask, I can use a toilet and continue. And I have to do this without telling the person on the phone. I don't know the reason what goes through our minds to do that, but we do. We go into the toilet and we don't tell the person. We're still listening and we're on the toilet seat. And at the end and invariably, the person said, what are you doing? My point is there because the breathing indicate that you're doing one of the three things, and they don't want to say the wrong thing, so they said, what are you doing, Mary? So they ask you what are you doing, so that they don't say the wrong thing, because they don't want to think that you're with your husband having sex and you're talking with them. Although they're important, they don't want to think you're doing that. And they don't want to think that you did a number two with them on the phone. It's just a thing that they don't want to think about. So they ask you, what are you doing? And then of course you then go and explain. I just had to go to the toilet. That I just took the phone. Okay. But it's the breathing, because it's similar to all the other breathing, and they're not sure. So they ask you so you can say it so that they don't have to say the wrong thing. They don't want to come out and say, you're not having sex, are you? They don't want to do that. And how about when we're afraid? It's like an animal type breathing, because I figured we get into our animal instincts when we do that, because there's no other explanation of why are we doing that. And then there's the celebration type of breathing. It starts slow and kind of elevates. It's very close to the cocaine type of breathing. It's like a kind of thing. It's the same type you see on when they do cocaine. I don't know why the two are so similar, but you usually see it when people are at parties or they're celebrating. Oh my goodness! I don't know if it's a drug-related mental thing where when we get excited, we have to think that we're doing cocaine or something, but they seem to be, they're very, very close. If you listen closely, you see huge similarities. Now all humans have the angry type breathing. It's almost like a stop and go motion, and it invariably is accompanied by a facial expression, like a. If you have to make the face in conjunction with the breathing. You're sending the message to the person that you will hold your breath and stop your breath and die if you have to, so they can understand the seriousness of the gravity of what you're feeling. And then the facial expression sends the obvious look that you're just not in the mood, It's a stop and go kind of thing. And then there is the I love you type of breathing. It's a sort of a smooth type breathing that's accompanied by a smile with a light moaning type motion that a woman usually gives when she's having sex. Like a something similar to that. Usually you'll see it when someone thinks he's in love or found this person. In most cultures, they have the none of your business type breathing. And this one is usually accompanied by a cross-eyed look that seem to kind of sense the point. Like a, you know, none of your business. You don't have to speak now. The breathing with the cross-eyed look sends the point that, this, whatever it is you have come here for, it's none of your business. It's quick, and the cross-eyed look. And possibly some facial expression that accompany it too as well. However, the welcome breathing is one of the few types of breathing that sometimes changes. It's usually starts out slow and elevate to the point where the person runs out of breath. In rare cases, they fall over and die. It's accompanied by a wide smile, eyes wide open, and hands wide open in general. It's sort of a and it may start over again. It goes until the user runs out of breath, like a keep going until you completely run out of breath. And then you kind of repeat the process again. Sometimes the welcome breathing is a bit close to being unsure, like a they're very close, similar in breathing type. However, the expression will generally gives you an idea with hands wide open as opposed to hands here. That's the unsure. Hands wide open will indicate more of a welcome along with the breathing. However, when used with the hands in this position, then you know it's the reverse. However, the breathing will be similar. Now, the one breathing that requires much practice is your fired breathing. It remains the same all the time. It starts out short, heavy climax and stop and hold for a while with a facial expression that sends a message. You're fired. It has to be that you have to practice to get it right. You're fired. You're fired. You're fired. Hold it. You gotta hold it. You can't, because you can't really say you're fired. It doesn't go. You have to say you're fired. You're fired. Everything goes out, and you have to hold it with the facial expression, and then take a breath. And that one, requires a lot of practice, but it's usually the same. It's rapid on hold for a while, and then you let it go. As humans, our breathing will indicate to others what it is that we're trying to say. However, sometimes it can be a bit confusing, since some breathing styles are used for more than one thing.